I want you to ask yourselves, are we indigenous people of the Western Hemisphere better off now than we were 1, 2, 300 years ago? 300 years ago, we were quite successfully resisting the efforts of the colonial governments to gain more land and control, but like always, disease and an ever-growing colonial population weakened us and kept us on defense. 200 years ago, indigenous people were facing the biggest of illegal land grabs, such as the Louisiana Purchase, pushing indigenous nation on top of indigenous nation, causing a domino effect of conflict and beginning the system of appropriating our land and undermining our cultures. The 1800s concluded in one last push of resistance from many tribes to no avail. 100 years ago, indigenous people were entering the last stage of our extermination. Assimilation. From the Indian Citizenship Act to the Indian Civil Rights Act, the Kill the Indian, Save the Man agenda was almost to a close. With puppet tribal governments enforcing assimilation policy in place, the only thing left was to wait for integration. Fast forward to 2022 and we have the highest poverty rates, highest suicide rates, highest addiction rates, lowest life expectancies. Millions of indigenous people have little to no access to clean water. Millions of indigenous children are displaced into Kill the Indian, Save the Man households. And thousands of women go missing from illegal pipelines and government projects yearly. And that's not even half of it. So if you're trying to calculate whether we are better off today than we were 1, 2, 300 years ago, I'll stop you because we're not. Today in 2022, we are in the last stage of our complete genocide. No time in history have we ever been this close to our languages, our traditions, and our values going extinct. So while you're arguing about identity politics, Democrat and Republican propaganda, Supreme Court overreach, or acts of governments that broke hundreds of treaties and have done nothing but perpetuate genocide and assimilation, remember this. The indigenous people of the Western Hemisphere are in a silent and active genocide, and the only solution is our complete sovereignty and self-governance, away from colonial laws, policies, ideologies, and religions. Like always, click the link in my bio, share, and don't forget to use your own voice to educate the world on our struggle. Education is key to the sovereignty of our people, and that starts with you, and that starts with me.